Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our YouTube channel Paper World, where we are solving past paper questions of IGCSE Physics 0625. At the moment, we are doing chapter Electricity and Magnetism, and today, inshallah, we are going to be doing its topic 4.13, which is transform. So let's begin. But before we start, kindly like and subscribe to the channel. And if you find anything helpful in your video, kindly remember me in your prayers. Okay, let's begin. You should know what a transformer is. Basically, it's a device that changes high alternating voltage at a low current to a low alternating voltage at a higher current. Okay. So there are two types of transformer. One is a step-up transformer, and the other is a step-down transformer. In a transformer, these number of turns is a very important entity. One of the sides of the transformer is a primary side. For example, in this figure, we can take one is a primary side and other is a secondary side. Okay. So number of turns on the primary side and secondary side depend upon the type of the transformer it is. For example, if it's a step-up transformer, then the number of secondary turns is greater than the number of primary turns, okay? And if it's a step-down transformer, the number of secondary turns are less than number of primary turns. So, for example, if we take this transformer, it has 550 turns on this side and 115 turns on this side. So we know that this is a step down transformer where the number of turns on the secondary side are less than the number of turns on the primary side. And if it was the other way around, this would be a step up transformer has more turns on the secondary side, less turns on the primary side. Okay, if you know this, you must know the formulas that are going to be used in the solving questions related to transformer. One is voltage on the primary side, the ratio of basically the voltage on the primary side to the ratio of voltage on the secondary side, and they correspond with the number of turns on the primary side to the number of turns on the secondary side. And one of the formula, and all of this is equal to number of current on the secondary side and number of current on the primary sides. If you look at these formulas, you will see and notice that voltage on the primary side and the turns on the primary side and voltage on the secondary side, turns on the secondary side, basically voltage is directly proportional to the number of the turns. Okay? And voltage is inversely proportional to the current. Okay? In a transformer, track a formula backwards. We know that power is equal to VI. Okay? And if we track this downwards, so we know that constant is equal to VI and V is equal to constant over I. So that's how we reach V is inversely proportional to current. Okay? Yahan se we start and then we reach this. And sometimes we move backwards as well. So if we move backwards, so we can know that V is inversely proportional to the current in this case. Okay? In the case of a transformer. So you must have an idea of these formulas while you are solving the questions related to the transformer, and you inshallah will have no difficulty solving them. Okay? And one or two other concepts that I will teach you guys as the questions come. So you must know what a step-up transformer is, and you should know what a step-down transformer is. What are its properties? Okay? Number of turns are in the secondary coil in a step-up transformer are more than those in the primary coil, and in a step-down transfer, number of turns in the secondary coil are less than that. you should know these two concepts and you should know these formulas. Okay? So you are going to inshallah do them with ease. Okay, now area cleared. Okay, now let's begin. Question number 1. The diagram shows a transformer. What is the output voltage? Okay, over here, this is the input voltage. Okay, these are the number of turns in the primary side, and these are the number of turns on the secondary side, and we have to find the output. Okay, they've told us that input voltage is given, so this is going to be the primary side. Okay, and this is going to be the secondary side. Okay, we are going to use our formula Vp over Vs, where Vp is the voltage on the primary side and Vs is the voltage on the secondary side, and number of turns on the primary side by number of turns on the secondary side. So input voltage is 22,000 volt. We need to find the output voltage, and the number of turns on the primary side are 550 turns, and the number of turns on the secondary sides are 115 turns. So cross multiplication is going to give you an answer of 4600 volts. This, by the way, is a step down transformer, since the number of turns on the secondary side are less than the number of turns on the primary side. Okay, so this is our answer, and 4600 C is our correct answer. Let's move to the other question. Question number 2. A transformer has NP turns on its primary coil and NS turns on its secondary coil. The voltage across the primary coil is Vp and the voltage across the secondary coil is Vs. What is the relationship between these two quantities? We've just done a question with this. We know that Vp over Vs is equal to NP over NS. So A is the correct answer. This is not correct, this is not correct, and this is not correct as well. Okay. Question number 3. A transformer is a computer. In a computer is used to transform mains voltage of 240 to 12 volts. The number of turns on the secondary coil are 200. Which statement about the transformer is correct? It is a step down transformer and has 100 turns on primary coil. Okay, it is a step down transformer and has 40,000 turns on its primary coil. It is a step up transformer and has 100 turns on its primary coil. It is a step up transformer and has 40,000 turns on its primary coil. Now, if you see that the transformer is used to transform mains voltage of 240 volts to 12 volts. So this is the primary. This is actually a step down transformer. Okay, the voltage is being reduced. Okay. So in a step down transformer, we know that NS are less than the turns on the primary side. Okay, these we know. Now, when we know that it's a step down transformer because its Vp is more than its NP, Vp is more than Vs. Vp is more than Vs. So we know that these two options have to be removed. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we have 3 entities. We have to find what the answer is. Okay. So Vp over Vs is equal to Np over Ns. So primary voltage is 240. Secondary voltage is 12. The number of turns on the secondary coil are given, and number of the turns on the primary coil we have to find. We will cross multiply, and number of turns on the primary coil are going to be equal to 40,000 turns. ठीक हो गया? So it means that B is our correct. First we establish whether it's a step down transformer or step up transformer, and then we find the number of turns with this formula. Okay, so B is the correct answer. Question number 4, what is the transformer used for? I just told you in the beginning of the video that transformer is used to actually change the magnitude of high current and higher voltage and lower current to lower voltage more current. Okay. So basically, let's go through the options. Changing a direct current into an alternating current. Transformer, mein there is always alternating current that we are talking about. There isn't direct current. You are changing the magnitude of an alternating voltage. Yes, this is the correct option. Let's go through the other as well. Reducing the frequency of the alternating current. No, this is not correct. Switching off the current in a circuit when there is a fault. No, this is the work of a circuit breaker or fuse. So B is the correct option, changing the magnitude of an alternating voltage. First, when it is coming from the mains, so there the voltage is quite high and the current is low. And then with the use of the transformer, you make the current more and you just step down the voltage. Okay? Question number 5. Which statement about a transformer is correct? There is an alternating current in the iron core from the primary coil to the secondary coil. Acha, there is an alternating current in the iron core induces an alternating current in the secondary coil. Okay, an alternating current in the primary coil induces a direct current in the secondary coil. Okay, an alternating current in the primary coil induces an alternating voltage across the secondary coil. Yes, this is the correct option. Okay. Question number 6. A transformer has 5500 turns on the primary coil and 500 turns on the secondary coil. So this must be a step down transformer. The output of the secondary coil is 110 volts and is connected to a heater. The transformer is 100% efficient. The heater produces a power of 132 watts. What is the current in the primary? Okay. First, we need to find, we have the number of turns. We need to find the voltage on the primary coil. Okay? We can find it by the help of this formula. Let's put in the values. Vp, we don't know. Vs is 110 volts. Number of turns on the primary coil is 5500 turns and this is 500. So Vp is going to be equal to 1210 volts. Okay. Now we have been given the power. Okay. So power in the primary side is 132 watts. So if we need to find the current, we use the formula power is equal to VI. Okay, we know the power is 132. We've just found out the voltage to be 1210. And from here we can find the current to be 0.11 amperes. Okay. So A is our correct option. Question number 7. A wire is moved down in a direction perpendicular to the magnetic field. The 3 changes are suggested. The speed of the movement of the wire is increased. The magnetic field strength is decreased. The direction of the magnetic field is reversed. Which changes increase the EMF induced in the wire? Okay. The EMF induced in the wire is going to increase if you speed up the movement of the wire. Okay. Magnetic field has to be increased if the induced EMF has to increase. So this is not correct. And reversing the direction of the magnetic field will have no effect in increasing or decreasing the EMF. Okay? It is just going to change the direction of the current and that's it. So only one is correct. So B is going to be our correct option. Okay. Question number 8. 4 small compasses are placed around a solenoid. The current is now switched on in the solenoid. Which diagram shows possible new directions of the compass needle? Okay, over here there was no current. In these figures, they have given you the direction of the current. And we know that we use right hand grip rule for solenoid to see where our what is the direction of a current and what is the direction of a magnetic field. Okay, in right hand grip rule for solenoid, the curling of the fingers or the direction of the fingers give us the direction of the current, and the thumb points towards the north pole. Okay, if we are looking at this figure, so this means that the direction of the current is in this direction. Okay, so our fingers are going to curl towards us. Okay, if we curl them around some circular thing like even a pen, they are going to curl around us and our thumb is going to point towards the right direction. Okay, in this direction. So the fingers are curling in this direction and the thumb is pointing in this direction. So now we know that because of this, we know this is north and this is south according to the direction of the current. Okay, all the directions are in the same plane. So this is north, this is south, this is north, this is south for all the solenoids. Okay, actually. Now the first two options, A and B, are not correct because the compass needle either is going to point towards the right direction or it is going to point in the left direction. It can't point upwards or downwards. Okay, so this is why this is not correct, because north can be in this direction or this direction, or south can be in this direction or this direction. Okay, na? It can't be in this direction when there is a solenoid we are talking. Okay, our thumb points in this direction or in this direction according to the direction of the current. So these two options are not correct. If we look at this one, we know that for a magnet, the electric field lines are from north to south, like this. Okay? 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 Okay. Now, if we look at this one, so this should point towards this side as it is making them move from this to this side. Okay? And this is also not correct. This should point towards this side because this is the direction of the magnetic field. These two are correct, but this and this needle is not correct. Okay? And obviously option D is only left, but let's look at it. Now, the magnetic field line starts from north, so this is pointing in the right direction. It goes over here, so this is pointing in the correct direction, and it moves to the south. So this is also correct. And if you see like that, it has started to move outwards and it goes like this and then inside. So all the compasses needles are correct in option D, and this is all the method we use to find that out. Okay. Okay. Question number 9. A 100% efficient step-down transformer has primary voltage Vp and primary current Ip. Which row compares the secondary voltage Vp and the current Ip? Okay. Okay. Now, in a step-down transformer, we know that NS and Vp are less than NP and, sorry, I do write this over here, NVP, okay? And we also know that voltage is inversely proportional to current, okay? So, if we look at the options, so secondary voltage is not going to be greater than Vp. So this is not correct. Greater wale options are not correct. We know that secondary voltage in a step down transformer is going to be lesser than primary voltage. So these two options are correct, and the secondary current is going to be obviously larger than I. Why is that? Because these are inversely proportional to if Vp is more than Vs, it means that the current over here is greater than Ip. Okay? So C is the correct option. Question number 10. The diagram represents a transformer. Which row shows material suitable for making the core and the primary coil? Okay, the core of the transformer is always made with iron, okay, soft iron, and the coiling or all of that is made with copper because it is a good conductor of electricity. So core is made with iron and primary coil with copper, so option A is correct. Question number 11. Which statement about electromagnetic induction is correct? A conductor moving parallel to the magnetic field. No, the conductor moves perpendicular, so this is not correct. The direction of the induced electromotive force opposes the change which produces it. Yes, this is the correct phenomena. We know that the direction of the EMF, of the induced EMF, actually opposes the change which produces it. So this is correct. We've done that many times in the induced EMF and induced current section. Okay? The induced current is in the direction parallel. No, it's perpendicular. The induced electromotive force decreases when the speed of the conductor moving across the field line increases. No, if the speed of the conductor increases, then the EMF increases. So this is not correct. That is why 11 ka answer was B. Which metal is used for the core of a transformer? For the core of the transformer, soft iron is used and nothing else. Okay. Question number 13. Which transformer can change a 240 volt AC input to a 15 volt AC output? Okay. Now we've given inputs and outputs in terms of voltage, and we've been given the turns. So what are we going to do is that we are going to use our formula Vp over Vs is equal to Np over Ns, and we are going to leave out one of the values that we have. For example, 240. We don't put in this output voltage, secondary voltage, okay? And we put in all the other values, 800 by 40. And we cross multiply and we see that the Vs should be equal to 15 if all the values are correct. So it is going to be equal to 12. So this means that this transformer can't change 240 volts to 50. Okay? Okay, if we look at the second option and we put in the values again, so 240 over Vs is equal to 1000 over 25. Okay, let's do the C option first. Over 15, and this gives us Vs to be 1.5. Okay, so this option is also not correct. Okay, let's move to this side. Vs over V, P over Vs is equal to Np over Ns, and put in our values. 240 over Vs is equal to 1000 over 25, and this gives a value of Vs to be equal to 1000, which is also not correct. So we are left with only option D. So this should be correct, but let's check it out. 240 over Vs is equal to 1200 over 75. This gives Vs equal to be 15. Okay. So this is the transformer that is going to change 240 volts input to a 15 volt output. Okay. Hope you understood the concept. Question number 14. Coil XY is wound around a cardboard tube. When the south pole of the magnet is pushed into the coil XY, the galvanometer deflects to the left. Okay. What other movements of the magnet will produce a deflection to the left? Okay, if we apply Lenz's law over here, we know that if the south pole is moving over here, so south pole is going to be induced over here and north pole is going to be induced over here. Okay? And if we now look at the option A, so south pole moves out. If the south pole is moving out, so here it is going to be north and here it is going to be south. So the deflection is not going to be towards the left side, because the deflection is only going to be on the left side if there is a south pole over here and a north pole over here. So option A obviously is not correct. If we look at option B, so the north pole is moving out. If the north pole is moving away, so according to the Lenz's law, south pole is going to be induced over here, so that to get the magnet back over here, and north pole is going to be induced over here. So again, the north and the south are reversed, so the needle is not going to deflect towards the left, it's going to deflect towards the right. Okay, if now we look at the option C, the north pole moves in. If the north pole is moving in, so we know that according to the Lenz's law, there is going to be north pole induced over here and a south pole induced over here. Okay, so again, south and north pole are reversed, so this is not going to give a deflection that we want towards the left. Okay, the option D, south pole moves out. If the south pole is moving out, so what is going to happen? North is going to get induced over here and south is going to induce over here to get this back. Okay, so now we have south on the left side and north on the right side, just like over here. Okay, so now this is going to give a deflection towards the left side. Okay, so D is going to be our correct option because of this logic. Question number 50. A magnet is dropped vertically through a solenoid. This induces magnetic poles at both ends of the solenoid. Okay, which magnetic poles are induced at position X in diagram 1 and 3? Okay, this is diagram 1, and what pole is going to get induced over here? So if this is moving inwards, according to the Lenz's law, solenoid is going to repel this magnet. Okay, so a south pole is going to be induced over here. Okay, and they've not asked about diagram 2, they've asked about diagram 3. Okay, if now this is moving away, okay, so south pole is going to be induced over here to win it back. Okay, so if south is over here, so at X it is going to be north. Okay, we know the Lenz's law. Okay, if the magnet is trying to go over here, the solenoid is going to repel it. And how is it going to repel it? If only it is going to induce the like pole over here, and like poles actually repel each other. So if here it's south, here it's going to be north. Now if it's leaving and moving away from the solenoid is going to fight to get it back. So if north is leaving this side, so it is going to induce south pole over here, which is an unlike pole, so that the magnet gets attracted. Okay, so if south is induced over here, so north is going to be induced over here, and we've been asked about the poles induced at the position X. So for diagram 1, south is going to be induced at X, and for diagram 3, north is going to be induced. So C is giving us one such option. So C is the correct option. Okay. Question number 60. Two circuits are set up as shown. The iron rods are placed close together and are able to move. What happens to the size of the gap at X when switch S is closed? Okay. When the switch S is closed, what's going to happen? This is a solenoid. Okay? This is positive, this is negative. So the current is moving towards this side. So if we curl our fingers like that away from the away from us, so our thumb is going to point towards the left side. Okay, so it means north is over here and south is over here. Okay, if we look at this, so the direction of the current is also like this. So north is going to get induced over here and south is going to induce over here. So the answer for C is that the gap between them increases because like poles are over here, so they are going to repel each other. So it is going to increase. C is the correct answer. Okay? Because of this. And obviously for a solenoid, we use right hand grip rule for solenoid and right hand grip rule for solenoid. The curling of the fingers give us the direction of the current, and the thumb points towards the magnetic field. Okay? It gives us the magnetic field. Okay? Remember this, please. Okay, question number 17. The diagram shows a wire between two magnets. An electromotive force is induced in the wire when it is moved up and down between the magnets perpendicular to the magnetic field, and the induced force would actually be opposing the force that is causing it. Okay, these are the principles for induced EMF. The 4 tests are done. The direction of the movement of the wire is reversed. Okay, this is going to have no impact. Up, down is going to have no impact on anything. The direction of the magnetic field is reversed. Okay, the wire is moved more quickly. Okay, the magnetic field strength is decreased. Okay, which test will induce a smaller EMF in the wire? If the wire is the magnetic field is reversed, it will have no effect. Okay, the direction of the movement of the wire will have no effect on the EMF being smaller or larger. The wire is moved quickly. This is going to have an effect. If this is going to move quickly, so it is going to have effect, but it is going to induce a larger EMF. So this is not correct. And the magnetic field strength is decreased, so the EMF induced will become smaller as well. So 4 only is our option. Okay, question number 17 ka answer is D. Question number 18. Electrical energy is transferred by transmission lines at high voltage. Which statement explains why high voltage is used? High voltage is used because V is inversely proportional to the current, and this reduces heat losses basically, keeping the voltage higher. The voltage is alternating. No, this is not the case. The transmission lines have a higher resistance. No, this is not correct. If they had higher resistance, so the current would have been smaller anyways. The transmission lines carry greater power. They don't carry greater power, they carry greater voltage. There is a small current in the transmission lines for the same power. Yes, this is the correct option. Okay? We know power is equal to VI. We know that if the voltage is more, though there is going to be smaller current because they are inversely proportional to each other. Okay? I just told you in the beginning of the lecture. Question number 19. The diagram shows a transformer. What is the output voltage? They've given us the input voltage. They've given us the number of turns. We simply need to use the formula. 2200, 1000. And Vs we don't know. And number of turns in the primary are 550. And these are 115. So Vs is going to be equal to 4600. So C is the correct option. Okay? Question number 21. No, question number 20, sorry. The diagram shows a transformer. There are 460 turns on the primary coil and 24 turns on the secondary coil. The primary voltage is 230 volts. What is the secondary voltage? Okay, the primary voltage is 230 volts. Secondary voltage we need to find, and the turns on the primary side are 460 and this is 24. So Vs is going to be equal to 12 volts. Okay, B is our correct option. Question number 21. The diagram shows an electromagnet near a coil of wire connected to a voltmeter. The reading on the voltmeter is 0. The switch is closed. The electromagnet magnetizes quickly. What happens to the reading on the voltmeter? Okay. What is going to happen over here is when the switch is closed, this electromagnet, as they say that it magnetizes quickly, so it is going to start producing a magnetic field around it. Okay? And this magnetic field is going to interfere, interact with the soft iron over here as well. But this is going to be momentarily happening because the what is going to happen is that the electromagnet has a constant magnetic field around it. So this voltmeter, due to the interaction of these magnetic field lines with it, will give a reading very quickly, and then it is going to decrease as well because this magnetic field lines are constant. So the answer is going to be that it doesn't keep increasing, it quickly increases and stays at maximum. No, it quickly increases and then decreases. This is the correct answer, because what is happening over here is that when this electromagnet starts to work, it produces magnetic field lines and they interfere with, interact with this coil, and for a moment the voltmeter like flashes a reading, increased reading, but these magnetic field lines are constant, so eventually the reading जो है वो again decreases. ठीक है? So C is our correct option for this. Okay. Question number 23. Let me put this up a bit. Okay. Question number 22 है, sorry. A 12 volt 36 watt lamp shines at normal brightness when connected to mains transformer. Assume the transformer is 100% efficient. Which row shows the number of turns in the secondary coil and the current in the mains wire? Okay, we now have these turns and the voltage, input voltage and the output voltage, and then we have to find the current as well. Okay, we can simply find the number of turns with the formula VPVS over NPNS. Okay, where VP is 240, this is 12. Number of turns in the primary side are 1200, and on the NS side we have to find. So the number of turns on the NS side would be 6 turns. Okay, so 60 turns actually. So there are going to be 60 turns. Okay, and then we can use P is equal to VI to find the current, okay, in the mains wire. So over here we will use the value of 240. Okay, 36 was the power, 240 was the voltage in mains, and I was over here. So 36 over 240 is going to give us 0.15 amperes as our current. So A is going to be the correct option. Don't get this confused. If they've written the secondary voltage with the power of the lamp, don't use this voltage over here, because they've told you that current in the mains wire. They haven't asked you for the current in the secondary coil or anything. Okay, so don't use the value of the voltage value of secondary voltage over here. They've asked you for the क्या कहते हैं current in the mains wire. ठीक है, तो mains wire will utilize the voltage in the primary coil. ठीक है, don't do this mistake. Children tend to do this mistake and then lose marks. Okay, read the question carefully. It doesn't mean that if these two entities are written close to each other, they are going to be used together. Okay. Okay, moving on to question number 23. A transformer needed to convert a supply of 240 volts into 4800 volts. Which pair of coils would be suitable for the transformer? Okay, now we have all the four values. So what we are going to do is that we are going to use three values with us. Vp is there, and NP is there, okay, and then NS and NP. So if we use these values, okay, for example, we use 240 over here that we know of, and 4800 that we know of, and out of these two values we just use one value over here, so that we see that it doesn't give the other value that corresponds to this. So NP we can take 50 for the first option, and then NS we can find and see that does it come round to be 1000 or not. So after we solve this, NS comes to be 1000. Okay, so this means that these options are correct. If you use the number of 50 number of turns in the primary coil and the number of turns in the secondary coil as 1000, you are going to get a voltage of 48,000 from 240. Okay, so if we have all the four values, we just put in the values and keep one hidden and see whether it corresponds with this value or not. Okay, simple maths. Question number 24. A beam of particles moves through a magnetic field. In which situation do the particles experience a magnetic field? A beam of alpha particles moving parallel to the magnetic field lines. The beam of electrons moving parallel to the magnetic field lines. We know that if a particle has to experience a magnetic force, it has to move perpendicular to the magnetic field lines. If it moves parallel to the magnetic field lines, it will make no difference. So a beam of beta particles moving perpendicular across the magnetic field is going to experience a magnetic force. And D is also moving perpendicular, but it is not going to experience a magnetic force because neutrons are electrically neutrals. Beta particles are actually fast moving electrons. So these are going to do that, and that is not going to happen. Okay. Question number 25. Electrical power is transmitted at 400 kV and transformed down to 240 volts before being delivered to the consumer. Which statement is correct? A 4000 kV cable requires less insulation than a 240 volt cable. No, this is not correct. Birds are subjected to high voltage shock when resting on a high voltage cable. They are not subject to high voltage shock if they are sitting on, if both their feet are on the same line. Okay? If there are two lines passing by and they keep their one foot on this line and one foot on the other line, so they are going to subject to high voltage shock until and unless they are on the same wire. So the voltage across their body is going to match with this and they are not going to get shocked, however high the voltage be. The current in the transmission wires is equal to the current delivered to the consumer. No, the current in the transmission wires is way less than that which is delivered to the consumer. With a 400 kV transmission system, a smaller proportion of the energy is used to heat the atmosphere than a 240 volt system. Yes, this is correct. I just told you that voltage is inversely proportional to current in the case of a transformer, and because the voltage is higher, the current is low, and the heating of the wire is lesser as well. Okay, so D is the correct option. Question number 26. A transformer has NP turns in the primary coil and NS turns in the secondary coil. Which row gives the values of NP and NS for a transformer that steps up a voltage of 1200 volts to 36,000 volts? Okay, if this is a step up transformer, we know that number of turns on the secondary side are going to be greater than the number of turns on the primary side. So we will take in the values that give NS to be more. This is 6000, this is 2000, this is 600. These two values will not apply because here the NS is less than NP. Okay? So we will use these values. Okay, now we have Vp and Vs is equal to Np over Ns. So we will use is equal to 2000 over 60,000, and one of the values we can omit now. Which value should we omit? Chalo, we can omit this value we can omit. Okay. इसको ले लेते हैं 36,000 को, और इस value को let it be ns, just to check if these values correspond with all the other values. So ns according to this is 60,000, which is the correct answer over here. If we are taking these three values, then the fourth value should come out to be 60,000. So A is the correct option. Okay. Okay, question number 27. Power losses in transmission cables are reduced by increasing transmission voltage. What is the explanation for this reduction? The explanation for this reduction is voltage is inversely proportional to current, so that reduces the power losses. Okay? So the current decreases, reducing thermal energy losses. This is exactly correct. The current increases, increasing the flow of charge. No, this is not correct. The resistance of the cable increases. If the resistance increases, then yes, the current is reduces, but this is not the reason for power losses reduced by increasing the transmission voltage. This is the reason for increasing the voltage, transmission voltage. Okay, the resistance of the cable decreases. This is also not correct. So A is the correct answer. I hope this is clear to you up till now, because we've done 3-4 questions related to this. Okay, question number 28. The diagram shows a transformer. Which materials are the most suitable for the core and the coils? For the core, we must use soft iron, and for the coils, we must use copper. So C is our correct option. Question number 29. A 100% efficient transformer has 6,000 turns in its primary coil and 600 turns on the secondary coil. The input voltage of the transformer is 12 volts. The resistor is connected across the secondary coil and dissipates 24 watts of power. What is the current in the primary coil of the transformer? Okay, in order to see the current in the primary coil, we must also know the voltage of the primary coil, because P is equal to VI. We have the power. We need the voltage or the current. We have to find the current, so we need to find the voltage. Voltage can be simply found by this formula. Okay, Vp we need to find. Vs is 12 volts. The number of turns in the primary side is 6,000. Number of turns in the secondary side is 600. So Vp, we take it out to be let me calculate. So this is 120 volts. And now we are going to put it over here in this formula. 24 watts की power है, 120 volts ये है. So 24 by 120 gives you the current to be 0.2 amperes. So B is the correct option. ठीक हो गया जी? Moving to question number 30. The diagram shows a simple transformer with an input of 240 volts and an output of 40 volts. There are 600 turns in the primary coil. How many turns are there in the secondary coil? So this can be found out by the simple formula of Vp and P over Ns. Vp is 240, Vs is 40, Np is 600, and Ns we have to find. So Ns comes out to be 100 turns. So A is the correct option. Question number 31. A battery charger plugs into a 230 volts AC supply. The charger is used to charge a 6 volt DC battery. The charger contains diodes and transformer. What is the purpose of these components? Okay, diode का purpose is to actually rectify the AC. Okay, rectify the AC means to let it move in just one direction, because the purpose of the function of the diode is that it allows the current to flow in just one direction. AC current is always changing direction na, so if it has to charge a DC battery na, so it has to rectify, the diode rectifies the AC current and then it doesn't change direction and it goes in one direction. Okay, so this is the purpose of diodes. This is not the purpose of diodes. And what is the purpose of transformer? It steps down the voltage or steps up the voltage. Now if you see that 230 voltage is coming from the main supply and you need just 6 volts, so it is going to step down the voltage over here na? So A is going to be our correct option. Question number 32. The diagram shows a transformer. The input voltage is 240 volts. What is the output voltage? Okay, again we will use the formula. VP is 240 and Vs we need to find. NP is 800 and Ns is 40. So Vs is going to give us 12 volts. Okay? So B is our correct option. Question number 33. A transformer has 2400 turns on its primary coil and 200 turns on its secondary coil. What input voltage is needed to give an output voltage of 240 volts? Again, we will going to use this formula. Sorry, NP over NS. So we have to find the input voltage. तो VP इधर ही होगा and by 240 is equal to NP is 2400 turns and NS is 200 turns. So VP is going to be 2880 volts. Okay. So D is the correct option. Question number 34. A step-up transformer is used before electricity is transferred by overhead cables. Which statement explains why the step-up transformer is used? Step-up transformer is used because, okay, let's look at the options first. It increases the current to increase the speed at which the electricity travels. No, this is not the correct option. It increases the current to reduce energy losses in the cable. Okay, but this is not why the step-up transformer is used. It increases the voltage to increase the speed at which electricity travels. No, it increases the voltage to reduce energy losses in the cable. This is the correct option. Okay. Question number 35. A transformer has 1200 turns on its primary coil, 400 turns on the secondary coil. An output voltage of 90 V is induced across the secondary coil. What is the input voltage? Okay, VP by Vs is equal to NP over Ns. So VP is something we have to find. Vs is 90 volts. NP is 1200 and Ns is 400. So VP is going to be equal to let me calculate, to 70 volts. So C is the correct option for this. Okay, question number 36. A transformer has 400 turns on its secondary coil and input voltage of 12 volts is applied to the primary coil. An output voltage of 120 volts is induced across the secondary coil. How many turns are on the primary coil in the transformer? Okay, VP over Vs is equal to NP over Ns. So VP is 12, Vs is 120, NP we have to find, and Ns is 400. So this gives NP to be 40 turns. So B is the correct option. Question number 37. A step-down transformer is used to light a 12-volt lamp from a 240-volt main supply. The lamp lights as normal brightness. Primary coil is 600 turns. How many turns are in secondary coil? Okay. Using the formula again. 40 over 12 and 600 over ns. So ns is going to be 30 turns. Okay, so C is our correct option. Question number 38. A transformer has 100 turns on the primary coil, 25 turns on the secondary coil. The primary coil is connected to a 12-volt AC supply. What is the voltage introduced across the secondary coil? We use the formula again. I told you in the beginning now that this is the formula that you need to know. And you are going to do all the correct questions correctly if you know this formula. Okay? And this is 100 turns and this is 25 turns. So Vs is going to be 3 volts. So here it is. A is our correct option. The diagram shows cables used in transmission of electrical energy. High voltages are used for transmission. Why are high voltages used for transmission of electrical energy? Fear of high voltages stop people from interfering with the cables? No. Heat loss in the cables is smaller than if low voltages are used. Yes, this is the correct option. High voltages increase the current in the cable. High voltages actually decrease the current in the cable. High voltages produce large magnetic fields, so less insulation is needed. No, this is not correct. Question number 40. The diagram shows the structure of a transformer. Which row shows a suitable material from the primary coil and suitable material for the core? You should use iron for the core and copper for the coil. Okay. Question number 41. A transformer is needed to convert a supply of 240 volts into 4800 volts. And which pair of coils would be suitable for this transformer? Okay, we are going to this formula, and we are going to use 3 values that are given and try to see that whether it corresponds with the 4th value. Okay. So 240 over 4800 is equal to 50 and over 1000. अच्छा चलो इसको let's keep it this way. Now this should give an answer of 240 volts. ठीक है? So VP, if all these values are correct in this one, should give an answer of 240 volts. ठीक है? So after calculating, yes, this is 240 volts. So A is the correct option. ठीक है? The pair of values correct for this option. Question number 42. An input voltage of 10 volt is supplied to the primary coil of transformer. An output voltage of 40 volt is produced across the secondary coil. The 10 volt supply at the primary coil is now replaced by 40 volt supply. What is the new output voltage across the secondary coil? Okay. Now if we see that first it was 10 volts over here in the primary side, and then it created an output voltage of 40 volts. Okay. So we see that this is 1 and this is 4. They were there in a ratio of 1:4. Now when this 10 volt supply is changed with a 40 volt supply, then what is going to be the output voltage? So if we cross multiply these, so we are going to get 40 into 4 is 160. So output voltage according to this logic is going to be 160. Okay. Question number 43. A student wants to make a transformer to step 12 volts down to 6 volts. She winds 60 turns of wire around an iron core as shown in the diagram. How many turns of wire should she wind on the secondary coil of her transformer? Okay. Now we know VP, we know VS, we know NP, and we need to know NS. Right? Yes. So this is 12, this is 6, this is 60, and NS we need to find. So NS over here is going to yield 30 turns. Okay. So B is the correct option. Question number 44. The diagram shows a mains transformer that has an output voltage of 12 volts. How many turns of wire are in the second coil? Okay. Again, our formula. So this is 240. This is 12. This is 1000. And this we need to find out. So this is going to give us an answer of 50 turns. C is the correct option. Question number 46. The diagram shows a transformer. Which materials are suitable to use in its construction? The core has to be soft iron and the coil has to be copper. So B is going to be the correct option. ठीक हो क्या? Question number 46. In the construction of a transformer, which items must be included? An iron core and a permanent magnet? No. An iron core and 2 coils of wire? Yes. Because we don't need a permanent magnet, that is why we use iron core and not steel. Okay, the steel core is not required, so B is going to be our correct option. Question number 47. The diagram shows a transformer. The input voltage and the number of turns on each coil are shown. What is the output voltage? Okay. Oh, either sorry. इतनी दफा I've written this formula and again I do this mistake. आप लोग मत कीजिएगा. So this is 200 over the voltage we need to find, and this is 400. So this is 800. So Vs, yeah, output voltage is going to be 400 volts. So C is the correct option. Question number 48. The diagram shows a simple transformer. From which material should the core be made? Core should always be made with iron and nothing else. Question number 49. The diagram shows a step down transformer used to decrease a voltage. What part is the primary coil? Okay, in a step down transformer, we know that the number of turns in the secondary side are less than the number of turns on the primary side. Usually in the figure, the left side indicates the primary side and the right side indicates the secondary side. But when they've mentioned you that it's a step down transformer, so you should see that where the number of turns are less and where the number of turns are more. We know that the number of turns are more on the right side. So this is going to be the primary side and this is going to be the secondary side. Okay. Always be vigilant. Question number 50. A transformer has 50 turns on its primary coil and 100 turns on its secondary coil. An alternating voltage of 25 volts is connected across the primary coil. What is the voltage across the secondary coil? So this is 25. This we need to find. And 50 over here and 100 turns over here. So Vs is going to be 50 volts. So B is going to be the correct option. Okay, question number 51. A transformer is to be used to provide a 10 volt output from a 100 volt supply. What suitable numbers of turns for the primary coil and the secondary coil are needed? Okay. Now what should we use? We are going to use this formula. That is for sure. Okay, now which value should be Vp we leave out. Okay, Vs we use to be 10. And in the first option, the number of coil turns on this side are 100 and over here it's 1000. So this should yield a value of 100 volts. This is what we know and what we are sure of. So Vp in this case is 1 and not 100. So this is not our correct option. Okay, moving further, if we have Vp over 10 is equal to 200 over 110. So Vp is going to be 1818. So this 18.18, sorry. Okay, 18.18 is not correct. So this is not a good option. Okay, moving on to the next set of values that are in C. Vp by 10 is equal to 400 over 490. This yields Vp to be 8.16 volts, which is also not equal to 100. So C option is also not correct. So D is only left, but let's calculate it quickly. 800 over 80 yields a Vp of 100 volts. So D is our correct option. Okay, ji, moving on. Oh, this was the last question. So this brings us to the end of our topic 4.13, which was transformers. I think we've completed most of the topics in this chapter, electricity and magnetism. So inshallah, we will be completing this soon, and then we'll be getting started with the chapter of waves. Up till then, take care of yourselves, and if you found anything helpful in this video, kindly remember me on your prayers, like and subscribe the channel. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz.